Yes, brother, I greet you.
Yeah, good day. Good morning from China.
Oh, you're in China. You are in Wuhan. You are in the land of coronavirus.
No. I'm in Taiyuan, China. There is no
Oh,
coronavirus here. It's
is
very
it? Talk
safe
to me,
here.
brother. Talk to me.
Okay. Yeah, I was listening to the lady who came on your live program, and I want to add something. Yeah, because it's very popular to talk about religion in Nigeria, in Africa. People are very emotional when you talk about religion. So that is why people are vulnerable. They say that it is what you revere that could be used to scam you. That's the truth. So being vulnerable is a factor of our people exploiting our belief system, our faith. That is why people are vulnerable. That's why you have a lot of Christian denominations coming out to exploit the same aspect of our, society. People are always looking up to God for everything they want to do. Even political problems. People want to come and solve them. So, but what I want to say about this is, we have had a lot of preachings in Africa. A lot of people have talked about how we can love God, how we can, make heaven, how we can prosper. But I think the preaching is a lot already. I think we should look at other things. We have enough God in Africa. What we need now, I'm talking about my sister that was on your live program. The trade should go into, convincing people about Jesus. It's old already. We know about it. A lot of us has heard, million times of preaching and gospel. We've read the Bible, Genesis to Revelation several times, but it is not helping Africans.
Wait, my brother. You said you read the Bible from Genesis to Revelations. Did you really read it from Genesis to Revelations?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of Africans have done that. And what I'm talking about us, I'm talking about Africans. I'm not talking about myself.
Wait, I'm asking about you. I'm asking about you. If you read it from Genesis to Revelations.
No. I didn't.
Oh, you didn't. Oh, you're speaking on behalf of others. You're speaking on behalf of the community.
Yes, because I know a lot of people have done that. There are people who study the Bible like, I don't know how to even explain it, but I don't think it is relevant to our lives as Africans. These religions.
What do you think is relevant to our lives as Africans?
I think people who have voices like that. She's living in the West. She's living in a very nice place in the West. There are a lot of information she can pass to Africans to help their lives. People are dying every day from poverty. And then you come and tell them about Jesus. You're living in a nice apartment in the US, and then you're talking about Jesus to people who are suffering every day. So my point is this. We should stop this. Yeah, we should. We are wasting,
what's your point?
The lives
what's your point, brother? What's your point?
If any one of us has an opportunity to talk to Africans, they should talk to them about helping their lives, about what they could do to live better. Long life doesn't come from praying. Success doesn't come from praying. It comes from hard work, from accessing opportunities. There are a lot of opportunities that we cannot access because we are Africans. That's what I'm trying to say.
What opportunities? What opportunities?
A lot. Once you're African, you're cut off from several things. You don't even hear about it. You don't even participate.
Give me one or two. Give me one or two scenarios.
Okay, let me give you one or two scenarios. Do you have, iPhone, Apple shop in your country? Do they manufacture Apple in your country, in South Africa?
Yeah, there is Apple. There's Apple outlets.
There's a factory there?
No, not a factory. We have Apple outlets, retail outlets.
You have sales girls who are working for them to sell apples. You don't have engineers who are working for them. That's what you mean?
No, we don't have engineers working for them. We have retailers.
Are you not cut off from that? Do you know how? I know you're using an iPhone right now. Do you know how much you're losing? Your country is losing by buying iPhones, and you don't have people earning from Apple except sales girls. You know what it is? And it's not just your country. Your country is South Africa. South Africa is one of the best economies in Africa. And that's just one. And then there are no Apple factories in the whole of Africa. None. These people, they go to UAE to produce for them in the UAE. They don't come to Africa to produce for you. They produce there, and then they send it over there and pay a few rands to people who will help and resell. And then we cannot find ways to change this. We wear designer shoes in Africa, at least some of our, elite people in the society wear in Africa. But they're not produced in Africa. They will never be produced in Africa. We can't even afford it. Our income in Africa can't even afford a pair of shoes. So what we see every day are fake designer shoes from different countries in Asia, because we can't, because we are not in the economy. We're not part of the economy. We are not part of the
my brother.
economy.
I have a question.
Yes?
I have a question before you proceed. Who's to blame for that? Who is to blame for that, for all that you have said? That we are buying iPhones, we are buying Western products here. Who's to blame for that? Why are we not producing high-end quality products also? Why are we not inventing certain things also and sell in the international markets? Why are we not doing that?
Can I tell you something? We are also inventing things.
What are we inventing?
But we cannot sell to the world.
Why can't we sell to the world?
Okay, let me tell you something now. There are, structural barriers against African producers, African inventors. I'm from Nigeria. I grew up in Nigeria, so I have seen a lot of, talented people. I've seen a lot of skillful people in terms of engineering and, different areas of life too. But whatever the effort they make cannot come to limelight because of this same barrier.
Which barrier?
A lot of barriers. A lot of barriers.
My brother.
I cannot, mention a few here. Let me give you an example here. Let me
enlighten you.
Do you know how Nigerian government under Goodluck Jonathan took care of Ebola? Do you know how it happened? Do you know the story about Ebola when it came to Nigeria?
Can you come again?
Do you know how Nigerian government under Goodluck Jonathan took care of Ebola outbreak? I think it was 2013 or 2014. Do you know how it happened?
How?
Did you follow the story? I want you to go and research the story now. After this,
no, just tell me. Just tell me, and then I'll research later so that I can make my point while it's your live here.
Okay. There was a Ebola outbreak in West Africa, and a particular Michael Sawyer entered Nigeria already infected, and it was intentional. He actually went to Nigeria to participate in the conference. But there is this kind of stories going around that he was sent to go and spread it in Nigeria. He's a Liberian. He was a Liberian. So he eventually landed in a hospital because he was sick. And then in that hospital, he infected a lot of Nigerians. And the Nigerian government at that time were trying to contain the outbreak because people were already dying in Liberia and in Sierra Leone and Congo in numbers. And at that time, even up to now, there is no cure for Ebola. There is no, maybe authorized cure for Ebola. Let me say it like that. So, but then a Nigerian came out with a cure and told the world that I have something that will cure Ebola. What did the world, that curtain I told you, that blockade I'm telling you about, what did they say? They said what he had was a pesticide. That's what they called it. They laugh at him.
Who's they? Who's they?
Of course, how will I say? There are regulators at different areas. In engineering, there are regulators. In medicine, there are regulators. In other policy areas, there are regulators. So for whatever the area of medicine or area of engineering it was or science it was, there are people who represent whoever is blockading Africa from seeing the light. So people in this area now are, the World Health Organization and their cronies. They said that what he had was a pesticide, that it is not any Ebola cure. And Goodluck Jonathan, now at that time there was a summit in the US. There was a summit in the US of African leaders. Obama invited them over to the US to discuss about how they will invest in Africa. Because at that time they were trying to compete with China. China came with $60 billion to South Africa, and Obama was seeing it as a challenge to them. So at that conference, I think in a private session, our president was asking, our former president was asking American government about help. And they should, that time, there were 2 infected doctors in Liberia who actually came with a team of medical personnel to help Liberians. 2 of the doctors got infected in Liberia, and 2 of them were taken back to US. They were flown back to US. which was bizarre. This thing, you said there are no cures. You sent your doctors to help to quarantine and isolate. And then they got infected, and then you brought them back to your country because you had a cure, because you have something there. And at last, Obama admitted that there was a serum, but it was in short supply. Like, it's not enough for Americans, so they can't give to Nigerian government. I followed the news very well that time. Okay, at last, Goodluck felt, like, that he wasn't being helped. So he went home, and they used African and Nigerian solutions, Nigerian medical solutions, and cured all those that were infected. And they were also able to contain Ebola spread. And it was a surprise to the West. I cannot forget the caption on CNN. They were shocked. They called it Nigerian magic. My point is this. I'm trying to make a point. I'm trying to make a point with you. What I'm trying to say, there is a serious issue that we should think about. We talk about religion, we're wasting the time of the lives of our people. People who are intelligent are being born and are dying without actually impacting in our society in Africa. We should look at the situation and find ways to help people. We talk about religion a lot, and we're taking our times for nothing. These people are all criminals. Every religious organization is actually designed to prey on the people. I don't believe in it. The actual way we can make impact in people's lives, the actual way to make impact in people's life is by helping them solve their immediate problem. That is what Jesus Christ asked us to do. So trying to only look at the aspect of religion that talks about worship and praying and hoping and wishing is false. It's fake. If the person who is a pastor cannot, give people information they need to grow, but only give the information they will get to be always dependent on him for physical and spiritual solutions, that person is criminal. The person is trying to exploit the people. So my point is this: we should emphasize more. If you want to actually impact, in the life of Nigerians as Christians, or as a Christian, as a man of God, you should look at their problems. That is what you should, trying to help them to solve their immediate problems. What is the problem of Africa today? I mentioned one, this blockade. Whether it is scientific, whether it is political, there is a problem somewhere. We should find ways to break that barrier. If they are opening their market to us, they're opening our place for their market. They are selling iPhones in our country. We should be able to work in the iPhone manufacturing company. We should be able to have the factories in South Africa, in Nigeria, so that we manufacture the ones we use in Africa. That's my point. Everything is important.
Let me address the issues that you raised. You raised a lot of pertinent issues that are very crucial and that I think need to be addressed as you have reasoned them. First of all, when we're looking at, let me start with the last one that you raised, the ones of, medical and science, Africans coming with medication that can cure certain virus, antidotes that can cure certain pandemics. And then the international board, health board comes, World Health Organization comes and says it's a pesticide. We cannot approve it because it did not go through the due process that it needs for us to recommend it to be consumed on a national scale or on a global scale. That, my brother, it's more political than it has anything to do with it being an embargo or it being a limitation to the nation. This is all political. Even if you look at the recent pandemic, everything that they did was about this pandemic and from the inception to the calmness of it now. It was all political. I always saw it as one of the biggest schemes that was just meant to benefit the elite or whoever came up who manufactured this biological weapon. So for us to come up with a solution that can really tackle a matter on this level, a matter that has implications, or that was meant to address the issues concerning a global or a national outbreak such as Ebola, it might be very difficult because there are big powers involved here. We have even your big political giants that have pocketed huge sums of money for them not to allow any other cure to come out of the country. That have actually gone to World Health Organization, and World Health Organization said, listen, we are coming with an antidote. We are coming with a cure or something that can prevent Ebola. This is a scheme, my brother, on a global scale. That us as Africans, us as the people, we might have challenges addressing it. If we want to address issues on a global scale of this nature, We'll just be, pushing the wind, chasing the wind and pushing the wall. But let me come back now.
No.
I'm telling you, my brother, just like the pandemic, just like Corona. Let me tell you something. Just like Corona. There's a country. Let me finish and you correct me.
Prof. X, you're a victim of this thing I'm talking about. They have programmed you to see those things like big issues that
my brother. I don't want to encourage people. Listen, my brother. I'll never encourage someone to go and fight a lion. That's just waste of motivation.
No. There are different ways to approach. No. I don't mean that people would go to fight lions like what? No, that's not what I mean. But if we are calling it into this kind of program, we should encourage Africans, to do the little they can do. I'm not talking about going to fight the big lion. But what I'm talking about, we're talking about religion every day. I'm coming. Discussing religion, Islam and Christianity every day and encouraging people to love God. It is not what we need in Africa. People need to be taught.
Can you listen now?
If the pastor from the US would go to her own origin, if she came from Africa, go to her own local place in Africa and start a little foundation to help people learn some skills, I think I will appreciate that. That's my point. My point is, we have a lot of issues to tackle, and we're talking about, loving Jesus and loving Jesus. Jesus has been loved, for ages. It doesn't give people food. People want to eat in Africa. That's my point. People need to eat in Africa.
Okay, now
should stop pretending as if we don't
can you listen? Now can you listen to my point?
You're focusing in South Africa. For you now in South Africa, young South Africans who are like you are few. There are very few who can afford the kind of car you ride, the kind of life you afford to pay for your internet alone. Many people cannot afford it. So if you own your data, because of what is happening in your country and every other country in Africa.
What is happening in our country? What is happening in your country? Do you know what, my brother? Let me address you. Let me respond. Give me time to respond. I was still addressing the global things that you were mentioning when I said that you can't, we can't fight lions. You can't encourage a dog to go and face a tiger. There are micro things that need to be dealt with before we look at the macro. The ones that you want us to address, these are the macro economical issues that you and I we can come together as a people. Those are macro. We can't get there before we fix the micro. The micro things that we need, the micro economical factors that we need to deal with first are the ones that we have control over. You mentioned the issue of iPhone. And you mentioned the issue of us consuming goods coming from abroad, the Louis Vuittons, the Gucci, and all these other, exclusive designer wares. And you were blaming, the international barriers to trade. You are saying that people will not buy. There are so many people with talent in Africa. There are so many people that can produce good brands in Africa, but they are failing to sell on international markets. They are failing to export their commodities. Why are we buying iPhones here? Why is there no factory for iPhones? Why are they not making iPhones here so that they can be employment, so that they can employ African people? My brother, that's where the biggest problem is. That's where the biggest problem is. And the biggest problem with an African child is the mindset. We have grown in an economy, in a society which encourages employment. Right now, one thing I'll never advocate for is employment. I'll never tell youth to say, go and look for jobs, go and look for work. We are way beyond that era of making a living by working. We don't need to be working. We need to be deployed. Every young man should have his own business. And if you have a business, you must know how to market the business. Once you have a business as a young African, you have to now develop the mental skill and the sagacity to put that business on the map. We are living in a digital world, my brother. I'll never take an excuse from anyone. I'll never take an excuse from an African brother, from an African sister, to say there are no opportunities. You can create something of value today. Put it on digital spaces. Market it in any way that you can. We have Facebook, we have YouTube, we have Instagram, we have Twitter. These platforms are open to everyone. Wait, let me finish. These platforms do not discriminate. These platforms do not care whether you're white, you're Chinese, you're Japanese, or you're Indian. If what you have is good, it will sell on this platform. The market is open for everyone and anyone that wants to participate. There are no limitations as to who can sell what, or who can market what, or who can produce what. Look at your Nigerian artists. The music that I listen to on a daily basis is Nigerian music. These people are so good at marketing their craft. They did not wait and say and make complaint. We have Benna Boy who was at the awards, international awards there. He's African. He's coming from nothing. We have your Wizkid. We have your a lot of Nigerian artists that are doing so much, that are doing good for the country. So the ones that you're fighting for are the ones that you want to be employed. The ones that you're saying Apple must come to Africa so that it offers jobs. We don't need jobs in Africa. We have everything that we need in Africa. All we need to do is to be innovative and see how we can use the resources that are within our reach. You are good at craft, go do your craft. Put it on the digital spaces, put it on Facebook, market it. Collaborate with other influencers, send your stuff to everyone. Let everyone know about your craft. So there's no excuse as to why Africans are not moving forward or are not progressive in terms of developing themselves or, making their businesses visible. We don't want jobs, my brother. We don't need jobs. Jobs will only keep us in captivity. We will remain servants to the master. We need a new mindset of deployment, not employment. For how long are we going to encourage our brothers and sisters to look for jobs? Tell me who has ever become a millionaire by working? No one. All the millionaires you hear today, they came up with something. We have a pandemic, we have a problem in Africa. We need to come up with our own solutions to the problems we have. Let's come up with our solutions as the youth, as the young people of Africa. Let's not promote this mindset of looking for jobs or complaining that why are they not building factories? We don't need their factories. We have everything here with the resources. All we need to do is to learn how to, to bring this creativeness that we have to the world and how we can sell our artifacts better than them. They are good at marketing. They are marketing everything that they have to us. The iPhones, they are marketing them to us. The Samsung, they are marketing them to us in a good way that makes them competitive. We also have to produce good stuff that we can market to them in a way that they can't resist what we are producing, in a way that they will be compelled to buy everything that we are producing. We can't complain, my brother. We can't ask them to build factories here. All we can do is to use what is within our means. We have to develop ourselves. And knowledge now is all over. Go on Google. Go find out to do A, B, C, D. In this digital world, my brother, in this digital world, there's no room for complaining. Of all things we can do is complaining. And you raise the issue of saying we can't keep talking about Jesus and whatnot. Religion, personally, I don't believe in religion. Religion, it has kept our people in bondage. But I believe in Christ. I believe in the gospel. To be the man that I am right now, I was shaped by the gospel. I'm shaped by the ethics, by the principles, and the norms of the message of Christ. So I can never discourage people not to concentrate on the word that can shape and mold someone. By believing in Christ and by reading the Bible, it does not mean you have to substitute that for work. It does not mean you have to take your brains and put them aside and expect God to start doing everything for you. No, that's not that. That's a misconception. That's a false doctrine that was preached to the African brother so that the African brother can remain in bondage. But the idea of the word, my brother, so that you can live upright, you don't make mistakes, you can achieve success, healthy-wise, emotional-wise, and psychology-wise, and in all aspects of your life. You see so many rich people that are having health problems today because they did not consult the Bible. They did not know the principles of life. They did not know the do's and don'ts of life. Some sisters couldn't proceed with their education. They fell pregnant. They didn't consult the Holy Testament. Had people aligned themselves with the truth of the Bible, the truth of the gospel, they would have a very healthy, successful life. Their finances will be good. Marriages will be good. Their health will be okay. So the word is meant to shape us and mold us, not to enslave us. But these pulpit bandits that we have today, these false prophets and these charlatans, these jackals, they are the ones that are selling the wrong doctrine. They are the ones that are misrepresenting the word. And they've made the word look like a joke.
I need to contribute to what you're saying right now. What I want to say is you only believe that it is because people are not living according to the Bible or the gospel. That's why people are not getting by financially. Is that what you're saying?
That's not what I'm saying.
Okay.
I'm saying the mistakes that most of the people are making is because they are not living their lives in accordance to the truth. And the word is the truth. If you live according to the truth, if you live in a lie, you make a lot of wrong decisions. If you don't live in accordance with the truth, it means you are living in darkness. You are living in ignorance. And whenever there's ignorance, you are bound to error. You are bound to miss something in life, about life. But if you know the truth, you do everything right, my brother. There's nothing wrong about the Bible. It's how it is represented that is wrong.
Okay, but then I want you to understand one thing. There is no difference between politics and religion. It's
between what?
Too. There is no line in between politics and religion. Religion is politics.
How so?
Yeah, it is politics.
Yeah, that's why I don't believe. That's why I don't believe in religion. I told you I don't believe in religion.
What I'm trying to say in essence, in a nutshell, is that the way we promote religion in every forum in Africa, we should talk about these things you said that people should know. You're trying to say that there is Instagram, Facebook, people should just stay in their house and they get creative, Yes, we can continue to talk about it. The way we continue to talk about religion, even when we understand it already. That's my point. My point is we should continue to talk about it because people have not heard. You know it. You know what people can do, from their rooms. But then we are not passing the information enough. My point is if we hold on to these platforms on the internet, we should continue to encourage them. The way we continue to preach every day. That's just my point. We have preached for a long time.
Oh, I get you. I'm with you, my brother. You see, the thing is there's a strategy. One thing you should understand is there's a strategy. It is an approach to everything. What we are fighting for is to brainwash these people that are being kept in bondage by religion, with religion. Not before we get them out of this captivity. There is no amount of self-development programs that we can introduce to them that will work for them. There's no amount of ideas that we can bring for them to execute that they will take advantage of. They are still in bondage. They still believe in prophecy. They still believe in going to church every day from Monday to Sunday. They still believe in prosperity, that if you just sit on the altar, tomorrow you will have a marriage. If you give God your money, tomorrow your life will change. They are still in darkness, my brother. And I understand where you're coming from. And it's very frustrating to know that our African people, they are believing all this madness that is happening in African churches. If there was a way to close down all the churches in Africa, you see how Africa will change. If all churches get closed down, and we encourage people to just read their Bibles at home and work and look for things to do, Africa will change. That's what we are trying to fight for. That's where we are getting to make these people change their ways of thinking, to actually realize that it's all falsehood that is being peddled. Once they realize that truth, my brother, we can now come and have the discussion that we are having right now. To say, listen, people, let's start encouraging each other to be innovative. There are so many ideas here. People in the States can come through. Listen, let's open a fund whereby we can support our young brothers and our young sisters. Let's open job opportunities if needs be. Let's open different opportunities. Let's open scholarships for young ones that want to go and study abroad. And as a people, if we come together, we can raise any amount of money that we need to fund any project that is being carried out in Africa. We don't need Western people's funds. We can come up with our own medicine that will encourage each other to consume. We don't need World Health Organization to put a stamp on what we agree on. We are African people. We grew up in herbs. We believe in herbs. Herbs have worked for us better than these drugs that we import and that we have adjusted to. These are for white people. We can do more as long as we come together and then we do away with all this madness and falsehood. Because our people are captured on the mental level of belief. That's what we need to eradicate. That's what we need to wash away. Once we do that, they are now reasoning as normal human beings. Because these people are mentally sick, my brother. They are mentally sick. They might be wearing clothes, driving cars, but they are mentally sick. People that go to these churches, they are mentally sick. Yeah. They are believing in the impossible. They are falling for stupid tricks. And they are hoping that God will show up one day and do magic in their lives. That's why you see the entire people are doomed. Africa is not progressing because the ones that are holding positions to inspire people, they are leading people astray. They are lying to people.
Okay. Professor, another thing I want to chip in is this. You said that we don't need jobs, we don't need factories. And then I want to correct that impression. Everybody will not be inventors or manufacturers or creative artists. Everybody will not be that. There are people who are in society who just want to survive, and I don't blame them for that. People who are not creative should not just die because they're not creative. You know, we need the jobs. If we must use these products produced in some other places, then they can come home and produce it for us. China as a country, if I use it as an example, people don't understand sometimes. But then these things they use in their country are produced in their country. It does not mean that it does not give them the capacity to produce their own or to be creative for themselves. But then it increases the opportunity of survival for even the most unintelligent member of the society. So what you're trying to say now is that only the intelligent ones should live fine. That's what you're trying to say, and it is not fair. Even the ones who can only go and work, putting a bolt with a knot and keeping, they have a right to live good life. In the West, there are jobs for everybody. There are cleaning jobs. There are people who are just washing.
You know what I said?
They are getting by.
You know what was my point about jobs, my brother? Looking for a job must be an option of last resort. It must not be the main thing that an African man or anyone should seek for. It must be an option of last resort. And anyone that looks for a job, they must look for a job knowing that they have something that they're working on. And the reason why they must be in a job so that they can raise funds to fund their dreams, to fund whatever that they've envisioned, to fund whatever they want to create. Everyone was born a leader, my brother. Not leading people or leading anyone. Everyone was born with a special gift. That's what I'm encouraging people, that no matter how impossible your gift you think is or your dream is, it does not have to be building an aeroplane or going to Mars. But as long as it will impact other people, as long as it will offer a service to other people. That's what I want everyone to concentrate on. You are gifted in your own way. You know what you really want in your life. You might not be doing it right now because maybe you are financially incapacitated. That's why you have to be doing other things. But at the end of the day, that one dream that you know you love with your heart, that's what you must labor for. That's what you must raise funds for. And how do you raise funds for that dream? Okay, go and work. That's the option that you only have. Go and work. Once you have raised enough capital, come back and fund your dream. Open an opportunity for other people that do not have the financial capacity but have dreams to also come to your administration, to also come to your establishment and also work. When they raise enough money to fund their own dreams, they go. It's more like a cycle, my brother. That's the best way we can empower each other. If everybody become focused on becoming a leader in their own way, of becoming, of pursuing their God-given talents, their God-given, gifts. That's all. That's my message. I'm not saying that it's really bad to work. Everyone, most of people, the billionaires you see today, they worked at one point. They worked at McDonald's, yes. KFC, but they had a vision.
Yeah.
What I want to bring back to the African mind is a vision, sense of vision, knowing what you want to do, knowing what you want to achieve, knowing what you want to do, even though you don't have a single kobo in your pocket. Once you know what you want to do, once you have a vision, my brother, your life will be progressive. Because once you have a vision, you know what to do to fund that vision. Because everything will come back to the issue of having capital, having money to fund it, to pursue it. So that's when you need to get a job so that you can fund that vision. And it can be even, being a mechanic. If it's your vision, if it's your dream, then go for it.
Exactly.
It might be being a painter. If that's your vision, that's your dream, if that's what makes you happy, that's what makes you feel in power. How many painters are billionaires, my brother? They are paintings that go for 500,000 US dollars. You feel me? So that's just my story, my brother. That's just the point I'm stressing to the African mind, that no, let's focus on our craft, man. Let's focus on us and become the best versions of ourselves. You get?
Yeah, I agree with that. Thank you.
Yeah, but I appreciate your contribution, my brother. You are spot on. I would like if I can have more interactions like these ones, which can leave the end user with more things to think about.
Yeah, that's interesting. Anytime you want me on, I'm available. Okay.
All right, my brother. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. God bless you.